Hey guys, what's up everyone? Welcome or welcome back again to another video tutorial lesson from the Apex Predator Billiards Training Club. My name is Apex Lenio, your aspiring professional pool player and of course your local pool instructor right here from the Caribbean country of Jamaica. Now in today's video tutorial we're just going to be looking at a very simple but effective drill that is mainly beneficial towards players who have stepped away from the game for a few weeks, a few months, a few years, even to the extent of stepping away from the game for a decade. Whilst or after returning back to the table, their game doesn't feel as the type of game that they had before they stepped away, and of course they struggle in certain areas of the game, certain departments. So of course this drill is just geared towards helping that player to kind of feel what the stroke used to feel like, and just kind of work on some of the basic stuff. All right, in this video tutorial, well, in the coming uploads I'll be doing about 3 of these uploads showing you guys the purpose of the drill and just some other interesting stuff. I'm just going to be doing a voiceover commentary to let you really see the purpose of this drill. Alright, so if this is the first time here on the channel, consider smashing the subscribe button below, turning on your post notification bell to be notified. Leave me a like, help me to get that video out guys, and do not forget to share this out to your pool communities. Alright, so let's get into shape, get into form, and let's talk about this drill that's going to be useful to all players. Alright, let's get it, let's go. This particular drill is a drill that I do almost every morning once I'm practicing. It helps me with my cue ball control and help me with my ball pocketing. I'm playing on a 9-foot table, so of course it's just to better my game. The objective, what I do with the drill is that I try to shoot the ball in any random pocket, but I try not to touch a rail. I try to choose the best shots. I try to use stop, follow, draw, anything that will prevent me from touching a rail, and I try to run out the rocks. My record is somewhere around 13 or 14 balls. Well, I have about 17 balls on the table or 19 balls on the table. So what I generally like to do is not to touch a rail. Now, because of course I am practicing, I give myself at least one occasion where I can touch the rail, maybe like once or twice, but I try my very best not to touch the rail. And so I want to see how best I can execute this on live video, and then hopefully you guys can learn. This is the way to go about practicing. You have to work on your ball pocketing, you have to work on your cue ball control, and learn how to avoid using spin where it's not necessary. Alright, so enjoy this little workout that I have. I'm going to do about 2 sets and see how best it is that I can improve and beat my own record. Okay, thank you, watch, enjoy. Alright guys, so here we go. We are approaching the table. I do want to make mention though that I'm actually in my home, and this was a while back of course, and don't mind the attire guys. I was just at home and I was definitely just feeling that practice is necessary at the moment. I was really off the table for a while, and I actually wanted to get back in. Now, as I had mentioned in the introduction, the purpose of this drill is mainly to just get that back arm working again, feeling the stroke and that kind of stuff. And of course, in order to run this drill or to run these balls on the table, you're gonna have to have really decent control on your cue ball. You're looking for shots. You're trying to play shots that will literally allow the cue ball to stay within a very small area. So as you can notice, my first 2 shots there were just a draw and a slight stun. And of course, here we go again, another shot. If you notice, I want you to notice right throughout the whole running of the drill, you will notice here that the cue ball barely moves. It is just at the end of the drill now you're gonna see the cue ball kind of losing a bit of control, and of course I kind of fall out of line a couple of times where I had to recover. So of course then again, it is all about practicing, and of course you have to just use the opportunity to get better. All right, so clearly you can see that the cue ball hasn't moved much so far in the first 4 shots, and of course I'm trying to minimize cue ball movement. That perhaps was the biggest cue ball movement that I've had so far in the first 5 shots. Now, one of the things that you have to bear in mind, especially if you're on an 8-foot table, it's a very difficult thing to run this drill because the room or the margin for error is very small. The balls are going to be clustered up. So this drill is really good when it comes to actually doing it on a 9-foot table. You get a lot more out of it. Alright, and here you can see I've missed my first shot actually, and I'm just kind of just resetting the shot here. I actually wanted to continue the drill, but as you can see here is that the shot that I had missed was really elementary, and so I've just decided to this was actually just my first time getting on the table after a couple of weeks, and actually the table had just moved into my home. So I was really kind of just getting used to a lot of things, and based on the fact that the table is in my home, the humidity and the whole entire environment kind of changed the way how the table plays. And of course the table had a really tight pocket. It was really small, the cloth was really dead, so a lot of things were contributing towards that failed attempt there. Alright, so it is now in this attempt here that you're gonna see a little bit more caution being taken, a little bit more precision being taken when it comes to trying to run the rack. Of course, guys, I want you to make mention that practicing, you're never gonna get a perfect practice session. It's all about improvement. And so I'm not afraid that when I'm posting videos, I'm not going to come here and post videos and show you that everything is always perfect. I've messed up a lot of times. I've had bad training sessions, but I just continue to do what I have to do to become a better player. Alright, so of course that was 7 minutes of chattering. Let's get into assessing how I'm going about running this rack here. Alright, so I've pretty much just started off with this section of the table. In the previous attempt, I took the same shot, but I think I placed an extra ball here on the table. But let's get into it. The first shot, as you can see, there is a stop shot. I'm keeping it very simple. The aim is to try to minimize the movement of the cue ball. I also aim to try to play position on shots that will allow me to play stop, follow, slight follow, small amount of draw, stun follow, roll shots. I'm trying my very best, as I mentioned in the introduction, I'm trying my very best to not bump a rail. But of course, in the practice session, you're not always going to get what you want. You are sometimes just going to get things that you're going to have to work around. And this drill really is the type of drill that really tests you. As I go through this drill, you're going to see where I've fallen out of line a couple of times, and I had to really put a stroke on the ball and really get back in line. And it's just that kind of drill that will really test you. Alright, it really tests your decision making, it tests your cue ball control, it tests your ability to read the table very well. If you notice, as I'm going around the table, I am assessing every shot. I'm not just getting down and potting the balls. I'm actually looking at the easiest way. That perhaps was the biggest movement on the cue ball that I have had so far, and that really kind of allowed me to fall out of line. And I believe that later on, when I begin to fall out of line, there I almost grazed that 14 ball. I believe later on when I fall out of line, I think it started from this point where I was forcing myself to get back in line. And oh yes, I need to mention that one of the rules is that you cannot bump another ball. I mean, you can give yourself a little bit of a leniency in terms of if you graze a ball and it doesn't move much, then you can perhaps just give yourself that chance to get away. But you don't want to bump a ball and move it out of position. That means you would have to start over the whole entire run. Alright, so now of course, as you can see here, I'm just looking for shots that are going to be quite easy. Stop shots, follow shots, draw shots, that kind of stuff. But mainly what I wanted to also pay attention to, guys, is my pre-shot routine. All right, I'm at home, I'm comfortable, I'm not under any pressure, but the point is I still try to go through everything. I go through my aiming process, I go through my thought process. You know, I wanted to also pay attention to my stroke, how I'm stroking the cue ball, you know, the delivery of the stroke, the smoothness of the stroke. Of course, I'm not in perfect form in this drill, but I'm in my element, I'm comfortable. And the best place to practice is a place where you're comfortable. You know, you kind of get a chance to really test yourself and really put yourself into, you know, have a comfortable mindset. All right, so that's the kind of thing that this drill does for you. It just really gives you a chance to, you know, feel, you know, get back into stroke. And here you can see that's my first error. Remember, I had mentioned to you that I've tried to run this drill without bumping a rail, but now you can see that I've made my first error. I'm not gonna fail in terms of running out the balls, but I'm gonna fail in terms of my objective, where I said that I did not want to touch a rail. So based on where the cue ball is at the moment and all the shots, all the angles on all the shots that I have, the cue ball is actually being led into a rail. So I've decided to use up one of my free points here by bumping the rail one time. All right, of course you can set the drill at various different levels. You know, I believe that if you're going to start the drill for the first time, what you want to do is just give yourself a chance to bump at least one ball once and bump the rail one time or two times. You know, you can say level 2, you can bump the rail once and you cannot bump an object ball. Level 3, you could say you are not allowed to touch a rail at all, but you're allowed to bump a ball. Level 4, you could say do not touch a ball or touch a rail. Alright, so you can give yourself a level of leniency, and as you get better and better at it, you can actually change the rules, and of course you can decrease and increase the rules. Alright, but yeah, I mean, pretty much it's just that drill. This drill is just really good for you. I'm going to be making a few more posts with some more successful attempts. As you can see, I touched the rail one time so far. All right, I did in the beginning of the video, I actually did make a failed attempt, which I showed you. So, all right, so it's not always perfect, but for the most part, still, I mean, you can do whatever you want with this drill. You can create anything around it, and of course, you know, it just gives you a feel of what is required. And here you can see I'm a little bit annoyed with myself because I had the perfect opportunity to actually run the table without touching the rail. So I'm a little bit annoyed with myself, which now kind of caused me now to kind of overroll that shot there, and now I'm going to be forced to touch not only one rail, but I'm going to be forced to touch more than one rail. Alright, so I'm going to be cutting this ball in and going around a couple of cushions, just trying to avoid the scratch. So for me, this is pretty much a failed attempt. Alright, I run the balls, but that's not important. I have to stay within the rules, which is actually to avoid touching rails and touching balls. But again, I showed you this to show you that practice sessions are not always going to be perfect. You're going to make mistakes, but it's just what you do and how you learn from your mistakes to get better. So in the next upload, you're going to actually see a much better attempt at the run. I don't remember if I had touched a rail. I guess upon commentating or doing the voiceover commentary, I will actually remember what I did, but I think that I had a far better attempt where I was only able to touch the rail once. I think I may have successfully done this. I'm going to leave a link in the description box below for a short speed that I did. So I was able to actually do this drill a couple of times, but I was only successfully able to see this drill done on camera one time. Alright, but give it a try, guys. Leave me a comment down below. Let me know how it works for you. Let me know if it's an interesting drill. Let me know if you've already done this drill. Let me know the pros and the cons, the benefits of this drill. I find it quite useful. I've been away from the table for a while due to work, so I know that returning back to the table, this is primarily what I'm going to be jumping into before I get into the kicking, banking, jumping, and all those other departments of the game. All right, so I want to take the time out here to thank you, all my viewers and subscribers, for tuning in, listening, learning from me as I learn from myself and I learn from others. So do take care until next time. This is Apex Elena signing out. Do not forget to subscribe, like, and share. Take care until then.